And welcome to another episode of On the Capo Stand. I am your host this evening, Ahmed Salim, alongside the dynamic trio of John Misael and the legendary David Valentine. Gentlemen, how's everybody doing this fabulous post playoff clinching Monday?
Playoff Monday, baby.
Good. Feeling good.
Good.
Playoff clinching Monday. Awesome. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. I mean, a lot's happened since the last time we met. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about today. Do you guys hear an echo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody's watching it on their TV.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys hear an echo?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So Orlando Pride, we'll just do a quick recap of Orlando Pride and the and OCB. So Orlando Pride won their most recent game this past Saturday. 3-1 against Houston Dash, snagging their 16th win.
No, fantastic. I'm happy for them. We say it day in, day out. Pride out of a trifecta of clubs under the Orlando City umbrella. Probably one of the worst ones. They have not hit playoffs since 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a great accomplishment. I mean, they're breaking records. They haven't lost it yet. And the amount of clean sheets, wins, it's just fantastic. I think, like I said, the only thing that is shameful about the whole thing is the fact that if they crown themselves champions, they're not going to have in Orlando because the NWSL assigns the hosting of the championship like the NFL, and unfortunately is not meant to be here. But congratulations to them. To Seb Hines, I mean, fantastic job. We said it last week.
Absolutely.
Most impressive stat with them is their goal differential. It's a 40 to 17, so a plus 40 to 13. Sorry, plus 27. Wow. So that's
leave something for the poor.
Video game numbers, if you will.
What's our goal differential, John? Offhand, do you know?
I think it's plus 8.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
That's what I thought.
I think.
Yeah, because with the exception
plus
of
7.
With the exception of Dallas, pretty much all our wins have been with clean sheets. So
yeah, it's amazing. So their next game is Sunday, October 5th, where they take on the Washington Spirit at home.
Yeah, because they're second. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. At Inter and Co.
No, I was just saying that's a big game. They're in second place. We're only 7 points ahead.
Okay.
Even though we're undefeated, we're only 7 points ahead, and Washington Spirit is second. So I think it's a big game.
Well, they're gonna come here to try to win.
Obviously, yeah, of course. Like I said, as I was gonna say, it doesn't seem so because obviously we're undefeated and we haven't lost, so it's kind of weird to say that. But I mean, why not? Why not keep it going, man? Keep it rolling.
Absolutely.
That win the other day was the most home wins in Pride history with 8.
Wow.
And the attendance was supposedly 17,000. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Can I say something about that though? So I had a friend of mine, David. You know the gentleman I brought, Abraham.
Yes, I remember him.
So he calls me the other day. He's like, "Listen, do you have any plans?" Which I did. He got a sales rep called him and gave him some tickets to the game. I'm like, dude, you gotta go. They're on the hot streak. Blah blah blah. You know the whole spiel. So he goes to the game, has a great time. He was asking me, he's like, yo, what's up with the attendance? Because he's been to the city games, but he's never been to a Pride game. And he's like, it's like empty. And, in our section, he's like, there was no food, no drinks. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
wait a second. They don't have food and drinks?
In the East side? No. In the East Club, they don't. The only one they do is the West Club.
Wow.
Wait, it gets better, though. It gets better. Because the funny thing is, actually, I think if you were to get West Club seats are probably cheaper for Pride than my seats are for City, if you can believe that.
Wow,
that's crazy. That's crazy in itself.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway,
I don't know
so
if you guys remember. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years back, if you were a season ticket holder for Orlando City, they were giving you free tickets for Pride, and they discontinued that because like nobody was taking them.
yeah, but wait. So listen, so I'm talking to him. He's like, listen, so the sales rep comes and talks to me. And what do you think the sales rep first starts to show him prices for?
Pride.
Anybody take a guess? No.
No, the
He
men's team.
starts showing him the men's ticket prices. He's like, wait,
Yeah.
these are the prices for this? He's like, no, that's for the city. He's like, why are you showing me? Why are
Yeah.
you showing me ticket prices for the men's team when you invited me to the Pride? Like that blew my mind. I mean, he might
That's
have been a
crazy
new
talk.
guy or whatever, but like
Yeah.
that's so I can't. I
Yeah.
don't even want to say because I don't want to get the show flagged. Like,
No,
come
no, I
on,
hear
give me
you.
a break, man. And
It's
the
a
thing
different.
about, yeah,
But
I was gonna say, and he said to me, not me. He's like, why don't they give you as a season ticket holder an option to include Pride tickets in your thing? You know, the only way you can get it included as part of your ticket right now, because I started to look into it, is if you have that new terraces section, which is if I could afford that, we'd all be sitting in
Bougie
West Club
section. Yeah,
together.
the bougie
Yeah,
section.
like that new corner section. It
Yeah.
includes the Pride tickets. It includes the Orlando City tickets. It includes your parking. That is the only option that you have if you want season tickets for both. So if anybody's listening, people, even not existing season ticket holders, are saying that would be a good option. So it's maybe something to think about for the future, where you know how they do half a season. Maybe give me half a season Pride, half a season City.
cool. Yeah,
or
no,
or
that's not,
vice versa. I mean, I know there's plenty of people that are only Pride season ticket holders that I'm sure would love to go to an Orlando City game
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
had like an all-in-one option for or all of
yeah,
one half of the other, even just select theme nights, like
yeah. Or even the ability, like they have like a swap. You can swap your tickets during the season. Make that swap so I could swap them for Pride
Yep.
tickets. They'll be on the winning end of that. You know that because the
absolutely.
tickets are cheaper in Pride, right? But if I
Yeah,
could swap my
it's
5 tickets for Pride tickets, why not?
it's weird why they don't still offer Pride tickets to the men's,
They
season
were not
ticket
taking that,
holders,
brother.
because that's a way of trying to, entice you to maybe get season tickets there. So it's kind of weird that they stopped that.
I
I
gotta tell you
saw,
what.
sorry, I saw that they put if for the next year's season tickets you'll get a jersey.
Oh,
Really?
don't even get me started on that, man.
Yeah,
Don't
you'll
even
get
get
a
me started
jersey,
on
a
that.
Pride jersey, if you sign up for next season's
Yeah.
season pass. Yeah.
No, I tell you that to me the main problem with Pride versus Orlando is, and we said it last week. Um, it's two different leagues with two different opposite agendas.
Yeah.
Many times we have seen how Pride and Orlando and OCB are all playing at the same time, and you have to choose which one to watch, where to go. It's counterproductive. And I know I think that we said last week that I have said this many times. The fact that not every MLS team has a women's side, and that the women's side and the men's side have to have different names. Orlando Pride, Orlando City. It should be Orlando City. The girls should have the same crest as us. A few years back, they decided to go with like a black kit that had nothing to do with Orlando City. To me, it was looked cool, but it was a bad decision. And to go back to Stevenage for a minute, take your shot for those playing games. Stevenage, the women, they don't play at the main stadium. They play on a county stadium, which is a smaller venue, and tickets for that is like £2 to £10 versus the main team that was much more money than that. So they understand that you have to entice people, because I know people that go to Pride games because it's the cheaper option of the two. They want to watch great professional football. Unfortunately, they can't afford Orlando City, and we can all agree we have gravitated away from the $15 general admission of the USL era. Now it's quite a few bucks. And for a family of four going to an Orlando City game, we're talking about a $250 night. So
Yeah.
I just hope that the club finds a happy medium where we
Absolutely.
can support Orlando City Pride,
Yeah.
Orlando City and Pride at the same time equally, but without breaking the bank or sacrificing one
And
versus.
I know it's a little off topic, but even throw Orlando City B in there.
Hmm.
I mean, you guys saw it
Absolutely.
that first match. The place, I mean, it wasn't sold out, but it was packed. You
Yeah.
know,
Right, with free tickets, right? And then there was a
yeah.
$3 tickets. With OCB, they have done beautifully. Personally, uh, unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to as many games as I would love to, but you guys know it's always a great time, a great atmosphere. It's awesome. It's basically what if you want to experience what the USL era used to be, OCB is exactly that.
To a point, without the
Yeah.
supporters, without the supporters section.
Yeah.
You know,
But
ILF and
like the
Rockets
way I
went
would
from
explain it, David, is like if you want to experience high level soccer without the hype and the extra sounds and everything that
right.
the
You're
senior
there for the
team
game.
has, you would go to a Orlando City B match because it is 100% soccer. I mean, it very much has a high school feel to it as far as sitting in the stands because there's a lot of
Mhm.
families there, a lot of relatives there of the players from both teams.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there watching soccer, and it's when Tom from Bolton, England, when he went to the match with me, he's like, dude, I could sit here all day and keep sipping on beers and watch 3 or 4 more matches. This is amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's I mean, but if they could figure something out to include the Pride, include Orlando City B, and include the senior team and one package, I can almost guarantee you they would see a uptick in support for all three.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Last season, right after our season started, I got a call from my ticket rep. They had sent out an email about a promo packet for Pride, but it was so short notice that there was no way I could do it. It was an amazing deal. Like
You
it
know
really
what?
was.
Let's do this. Let's do this for Pride. Let's pick a day and tell kids, hey, if
Yeah.
you send us your report card and you have at least one A, boom, free. We're
Yeah.
gonna give you 2 free tickets, right, or 4 tickets, whatever. We can pack the house like that. Again, one of the things that we have said, and John is witness of this one. Last time I saw Jared Dillon is, he's willing to listen to the fans. If you run into Jared Dillon, go talk to him. I tell people all the time that Jared Dillon is an executive for the peoples, right? He listens, and if you got a good idea, he's gonna put it in play. Let's try to plant seeds with the little ones. The little ones are the ones that are going to create the atmosphere. My youngest son is going to be trying out for his high school team, and he's not pretending to be Maradona. I know he doesn't have that skill level, but he's like that. I just love the game because we get to watch it, and he's gonna be a fan for life. And my friends, that's what matters. If we plant the seeds in these young people, then we have the next generation. When I see Barrett and Ivy, with the little Orlando City thing on and all that, to me that tells me that there's a future, but we have to work at it. Fans are not gonna show up. I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the Pride is another area that the front office could help us with. So I'm looking forward to that. They're having their fan appreciation night on Saturday, November 2nd. So if you are a Pride supporter, please try to show up that night. I'm sure it'll be a
For sure.
great time. A great time. So moving on, OCB, just a quick note. Their next game is Sunday, October 6th. They will be taking on Cincinnati at TQL Stadium. Cincinnati is currently in second. We are currently in third, and as we all know, we clinched the playoffs. So, best of luck to them. Hope they do well. I'm assuming the game will be broadcast right on YouTube
Of
or on
course.
MLS Next channel. So,
It's usually if it's not on YouTube, it's gonna be on Apple Plus and most of the MLS now, if not all, MLS Pro are free.
MLS Next Pro, yeah.
Yeah, MLS Next Pro are free. You go
They
to the
always
Apple
they
Plus.
always play in TQL Stadium.
Cincinnati, yeah, I think so.
Cincinnati, yeah.
Yeah.
B team, yeah.
The B team, yeah. Oh wow, nice.
And if anybody tries to find the B matches and you don't see them on YouTube and you're having trouble on Apple TV, you have to go to the MLS season pass
Mm.
tab, and it's all the way
down.
all the way at the bottom.
Just hit the down button and wait for it to
Yep.
stop. Like,
Start digging through all the messy stuff. And
Yeah, for sure.
keep
I
scrolling.
go over there with a shovel.
Keep scrolling. Yeah. All right. So on to the topic at hand. This past Saturday, the boys went out to Dallas, and we took on
Yeah.
Dallas.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Deep in the heart of Texas. Oscar Pareja went back to his stomping grounds. Thoughts on the game, gentlemen? I'll leave it at that.
Go ahead, Miss Al. You go first, bro.
Great game. Obviously, we won 3-1. I think mostly everyone I can say I think played well. Obviously, the second half was a little got a little shaky there. That was, to me, in my opinion, those were some of the substitutes. Yeah, great win. Not much to say. I mean, Facu has tied Kyle Larin for most goals in club history. One more, his next one, he'll be the leader. He has 44 right now, so one more, he'll be leading. One interesting thing to start the game was that they mentioned that Dallas's coach, what's his name, Peter Luxon, played on Dallas, and in 2014 was his last season as a player ever, and Papi was his coach.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
he mentioned that I guess Papi must have said something to him, because he said Papi was very honest with him, even to, like, I guess told him things that he didn't want to hear. Which,
Ooh.
that being his last season ever playing, I'm assuming he told him he wasn't that great, I guess. Yeah, we with that win we clinched the playoffs. We moved back up to 4th. Schlegel's header.
I think it'll be beauty. And
I think
I think it'll be beauty.
I think
I
the
gotta,
guy he played. I think he bought. Sorry.
no, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I think he had a great game. And I'm not one to say that too much about Schlegel. I guess you're always thinking, he plays well. You're always thinking, like, towards the end he's gonna do something. And I got scared there with the Lodero PK that he gave up. For a second there, I thought it was Schlegel. I was
Yeah.
ready to start cursing at the TV. Schlegel, damn it! And then I was like, oh wait, sorry. It was Lodero. But yeah.
No, I was gonna say that the Spanish crew had a love affair with Schlegel. I think the guy from the south side of Buenos Aires has improved, and I'm very happy for him. Ramiro Enrique on the 18th minute, Schlegel on the 51st, and Facundo Torres on the 55th. Beautiful goals, all of them. Could have been more. Our friend Duncan McGuire found himself 1v1 twice. And unfortunately, I don't know if it was bad decisions on his part where to put the ball, or the goalkeeper really had his number. We always say power of talent, ounce of luck. But it could have been better than that. The PK, very unfortunate. I felt that Lodeiro did not recognize that the Dallas player was there. His reaction was like, "Oh, I thought I was by myself." Could have, I believe, who was next to him? Because he
Kyle Smith.
Kyle Smith could have said, "Let it go."
Yeah, and the player's back was turned to the goal. Like, it was just so unnecessary.
Yeah, completely unnecessary. One of the things that you guys were pointing out, Dallas had a loanee from Maccabi Haifa.
Snow.
Really don't know who the guy is. I think he's from the B team. Something that I find curious is the last 3 teams that we have played, last 4 teams that we have played, have Israeli players in them. Not from the team I support, with the exception of this guy. Charlotte had two very good guys that we completely silenced, and Nashville as well. And I just found that entertaining. The fact that these guys were very good in the Israeli Premiership, and Orlando City just basically may not. And they're just like, okay, good for you, but we're here to win. So I thought that was pretty good. As far as Dallas has been a place where our managers have been fired, where players get hurt, or we just don't have uh, a good performance. We won, obviously, secure, clinched the playoffs. Made me really happy about that. And then Oscar, he was welcome there as a club legend, as he should. He built that academy. He left a lot of good positives in that club, which is what you expect from a good manager, good person. And like I said, and we're gonna talk about this later on, but we're on record here that we have never spoken bad about Oscar the person. We definitely have criticized his results, and we have proof of that. We brought the receipts, but for those that are listening, we have the team of the week. And before I give the microphone to John, team of the week, Ramiro Enrique, El Negro Ramiro Enrique, Mr. Green Card, and Rodrigo Schlegel. We got to come up with a nickname for Rodrigo. We have to find a name for him. In this club, we love to give monikers to people. And on the bench, there's some pensioner named Lionel Messi
On the bench,
on the bench,
where he belongs.
telling war stories to the kid man. So, anyways, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I was very happy with the first, 75-ish minutes of the match. I actually thought right before Ladero came on, I'm like, now this is how you close a game out. We were still attacking. They weren't really getting many opportunities. They weren't sitting, we didn't let them have possession. And then when, I just don't understand, and I've said it since I think like the third or fourth match, maybe even before that, first or second match, what Ladero's doing. Why wouldn't you put a Kuchevsky out there? Why wouldn't you put the new signee out there, see what they have? I understand Ladero's a little, fluid where you can move him out to the wing when you sub out Angulo or Facu, but every match that we're ahead, yes, he's made a couple good passes here and there, but almost every match he's ahead, it's like he comes in and Muriel comes in and the offense just goes flat. I mean, the last 15 minutes of that match was Dallas had no reason to even think they could come back in that match. And if it wasn't for a blatant offside, we would have only won that match by one, and you don't know what happens after that, because we've seen it in the past how it's like this team starts to panic when we're up by a goal, the other team's really pressing, and we can't clear it out of our own end. So I don't know. I'm always a fan of playing the younger guys, especially what Kuchevsky's shown. See what I call him, Hanny, because that's how I see his name. But the young guy that we got from Norway, see what he has. I mean, this was his third or fourth match, and he hasn't seen any playing time yet. Or are we trying to redshirt him, or what are we trying to do? I mean, this isn't college. So
I know.
Get the guys playing time. We were up 3-0. I can almost guarantee you that penalty doesn't happen if any other players out there but Ladero, who's been an offensive player the majority of his career. And then all of a sudden we try to play him in as an 8, and he's up in our penalty box and had one of the silliest fouls I've seen by a professional soccer player in a while. But overall, I was happy with the match, and good to clinch. Now they just got to keep it up, so we can have home field advantage. We're not reaching third. We're 10 points behind with 3 matches left. The math just doesn't math for us to reach that third spot. So, right now the 4 spots are number 1 seed, and that's what we have to treat the rest of the season as.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can read
Yeah, I want to bring some. I want to bring up the screenshot before I read Jim D's comment
go
because
ahead, my brother.
it goes
'Cause,
hand in hand.
I
So
wanted to go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna mention real quick before my senile mind lets me forget. Miami, Columbus, and Cincinnati are pretty much, as John mentioned, clearly set in stone. The only difference that we may see is Cincinnati and Columbus fighting for who's going to end up second. But as far as us, we have clinch alongside New York City and New York Red Bulls, which again fighting to see who ends up with the fourth place. Um, but Charlotte, Toronto, Philadelphia, Montreal, and Atlanta, DC, and Nashville are still in play to see who are the one of the secure seats for the playoffs or the wild card game. So you should see, Philadelphia definitely is coming to win this Wednesday, and we may encounter a Atlanta that may be throwing old meat on the grill when they encounter us at home. So just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
All
my
right.
brother.
So for me, and we talked about it last week, this is a game that we on paper should win. Historically, we struggled against Dallas, but we haven't played them in 2 years. So this is one of those games. I'm sorry to be the party pooper. This is one of those games we should have won. So yes, we played well, but we played well against a team we should have played well against. Last week, that's what we said. We struggle against the teams that we should, that are above us. So I'm happy. I am ecstatic that we're in the position that we're in. But don't forget that we're not playing. We weren't playing somebody who was above us, right? So, David, to your point, Evan Weston pointed this out, right? He pointed this out about the game. He said, I can't get over the Orlando City offensive turnaround. First 17 MLS games, 17 goals. Last 14, 36 goals. They're 2 away from a single club record after having no attack whatsoever for half the year. Amazing stuff. And I agree. But then Jim D comes with this golden nugget. And this is exactly what I was going to say. Jim D says, just imagine if we would have started off this season correctly, allowed the kids to get some time and create young depth. We would have been sitting pretty right now. Our depth may be our downfall in the playoffs. The team has not changed since the beginning of the season. Where has this team been that we're talking about? Because had this team been playing like this from the beginning, guess what? There would not be an issue. So we played great. But again, we're playing great against teams that are beneath us. We're going to have a test in the next upcoming games because we play what? We play we play
Philadelphia this Wednesday.
Then Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Then at home, I think we play Atlanta.
Yes.
Right? Cincinnati, they don't care. They're locked in, right? Philadelphia, they have some skin in the game, and so does Atlanta. So nobody, people
The
are
only
like,
thing about the only thing about Cincy is if they, for the second place.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is they're playing with no pressure, right?
Yeah, of course.
We
They're
have
not
3
under
games
pressure.
left.
Yeah.
We have 3 games left.
Exactly. So it's like.
So do you guys know? I just looked. I'm glad you guys carried this on because I thought when I saw that over the weekend, I thought about it too, but didn't look. You know what happened in match number 19?
What?
Ojeda started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what were we calling for up until Ojeda started to start? Why are we playing Ojeda? We look so much better offensively when Ojeda's in. When I said it, and it still happens late in the matches when Lodero's in there, he's still, if we have the ball in the attack on the attacking end, he still floats all the way over to the left touchline, and it's like we have no relief. I mean, Ahmed, I showed you it in the OCB game a week ago. Yep. Same thing happened with OCB. They played a little bit different formation than the senior team does, but it's like, Ojeda's that player that really brought the offense along when Poppy finally put him in the starting lineup. As much as some people may dislike Ojeda, once he got in that starting lineup and Poppy saw what a lot of the rest of us saw,
Mhm.
we started scoring goals left and right. I mean, the second match he started to start the streak, if I recall correctly, yeah, July 6th against DC's when we scored the 5 goals.
After
After
last
Ojeda
week,
started to be a normal starting 11 player.
after last week's game, Facundo post the post game conference, he talked highly about Ojeda, and then after this Saturday's game, Schlegel was giving Ojeda high praise. Instead of, they're asking Schlegel of how good of a game he had and his goal, he switched it and he was talking, high praise about Ojeda. With that speaks a lot.
That's a lot of maturity on
Yeah.
Rodrigo's side.
Absolutely.
And I have spoken with Rodrigo. Rodrigo's a very shy person, and of very few words. He's very uncomfortable when people give him praise. When I met Rodrigo the first time, and I was doing Tiro de Esquina podcast, I had a beat writer from Argentina to talk about him. And when I met him, I said, "Hey, Rodrigo, I do a podcast in Spanish, and we dedicated the last episode to you." And that he looked like, like super uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh, thank you very much," And I gotta mention, guys, out of the last 6 games since we came back from League's Cup, we have won 5, and we have only conceded 5 goals. So our turnaround really happened in the month of September, and the end of August. So 6 weeks, we were able to turn a stud from a dud, and so the season that a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, see, I told you guys this was gonna happen," just happened recently. And I'm on record to say I find no problem saying I was wrong and whatever. But I have to say that Oscar Pareja is an enigma because we have seen it in several. First of all, the last 5 years we have made playoffs, finally turning around the curse of not making playoffs in 5 years in a row. But one of the main things also is that we have, just like Jim pointed out, this slow starts where last year we could have this water shield had we performed as we should. And it's frustrating to me when Oscar tells me to my ear, "We're gonna make it happen," and then here we are in May, dead last. We're bottom 4 in the league, and in my 30 years of watching football, I'm like, "There's no way we're coming back from this." And here we are once again. And I have said it that the puppy in puppy out conversation is so fruitless because at the beginning we feel like, okay, we just need to get rid of the guy. Thank you very much for everything. And then at the end of the year, we end up in the same place with these comebacks that will make LL Cool J blush. You know what I'm saying?
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback because it never is. It's the same team that can do this, and somehow, oh well, we have to gel. And this guy, I don't understand what it is. But and I finish with this. The fact is that I have said it before, and I have compared this. We are following Orlando City is like jumping in a bus, going on reverse, no brakes, and I'm here for it. That's the type of thrill that we're gonna get. The playoffs. If for those that are watching, you can see the graphic there. If we were to start today, we will be playing against New York City. I have a lot of reservations about New York City because they're orphans. The New York City Wanderers, the homeless club. You don't know what you're gonna get. You're gonna play the mini pitches or you're gonna play in other states. Who knows? Finally, if we make it out of that into the second half of the second round of the playoffs, we're gonna be playing Miami, and we already saw what happened during the regular season. And Miami will love to humiliate us because we're gonna have to go to their house to win. Can we do it?
But David, you brought up that they come back, but they shouldn't have to. I mean, this isn't. We've said this since the beginning of the season. This isn't that much. Every player in the starting lineup on Saturday was a member of the squad last year. played relatively significant time last year. And it my case, and people want to say, and I did see a couple on Saturday, where's the Poppy out people? I'm still standing right here because I'm sick of waiting, 3, 4, 5 months for my team that I know has the players to do it. Other coaches around the league and internationally see that we have the quality of players to be close to the top of the league. And I mean, if we just drew half the games that we ended up losing and won half the games we ended up drawing, we'd be right up there in the top 3, if not in second place, very close to Miami.
1,000%.
Here we are waiting until June or July again for this team to start to come together and actually play like a team that knows how to play the sport and put together some wins. I mean, that's what I'm tired of. Everybody, I've said it on here, I'm not a fan of the style of soccer that he plays. I'm not a fan of defaulting to the sit back and defend and hope the other team turns it over so we can counter. Because look what happened against Columbus. You play a team of quality, a team that has very high quality attacking players, and they weren't even playing, in my opinion, a lot of other people's opinion, their best attacking player in Cucho Hernandez. They put up 3 goals against us with relative ease.
Yes.
And it's we shouldn't have to wait until this late in the season to hopefully make a push to where we have a home match in the playoffs.
Absolutely, John. And before we answer your father's question, I have to say that against Columbus, we look like the third monkey going into Noah's Ark, and it just started raining. That's exactly what happened. We look as if, I mean, you know what? It was lovely to see us come back from behind and make a respectable result. But my friends, moral victories, you get 0 points for us. I have the answer for that question.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead, brother.
No, I wanted to add about this whole, waiting to, like John said, waiting till July, which is funny you said that. Since the 1st of July, we have 25 points, second most in the MLS. And since the 1st of July, we have 28 goals scored, which is the most in the MLS. So imagine if, we start off hot. I mean, granted, obviously we're not going to win every single game, but I mean, it shouldn't take, like John said, all the way till July to have these kind of numbers.
Listen, in late May, we had 2 wins at home. Late May, we had 2 wins at home.
Yeah, I mean, if we start off like this, I mean, literally Supporter Shield winners. I mean, we're talking 25 points since the 1st of July, second most in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If we start off the way we play now, I mean, literally Supporter Shield winners.
Yeah. But that was the whole argument. I mean, that's what everybody was saying from the beginning of the season. So it's like, why does it take us this long? And I say us loosely. We know who us is. Us is the people who make the decisions to figure out who to put in.
From what I see is the team will go where Facundo takes us. The team didn't get going, like the rest of the guys didn't get going until he got going. It's like, he's the guy.
Well, that's because I feel like he never, not to cut you off, he never saw the ball. I mean, you look in those first 17 matches, we were attacking, 70-80% down that left-hand side. Well, Facundo's a right inverted winger. He's not seeing the ball. So then he has to wander all the way across the field to try to even touch the ball. And he wasn't seeing it. Now you see our stats. Yes, we're still a little heavy on the left. That's because that's where our counters are going to go through. But now if you take out the counters, we're relatively even right, left and right. I mean, it's usually like 30-40% on the right, the 60 to 70% on the left. But those first few months, we weren't seeing anything on the right-hand side.
So I wanted to ask a question, but let's answer the question first because I think it's part of that.
Yeah. Did you find it? I just looked it up.
I think it was Lodero, right?
He replaced Lodero.
Yeah,
he replaced Muriel.
Well, and Muriel. Yeah, well, so what they did is they stopped Game 18,
Oh, yeah.
I think, was the last match, or that the game 19 was the first match. They went back to the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
So
With
Muriel
Duncan up
came
top
out
at the
for a
beginning.
left back, and Ojeda came
Yeah.
in for Muriel.
Yeah, you're right. Because Ladero came in, Kuchevsky and Muriel swapped out, and Ojeda and Muriel swapped out.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say to that was what, in my opinion, also to add to what John said. I mean, I agree with him, but I also started thinking with the Muriel thing, being that Muriel played, in other countries, bigger football, bigger leagues. Do you
Mhm.
think that maybe Facundo, even if it was subconsciously, maybe just took a step back and thought that maybe he was going to take over until he realized, okay, okay, this is not working.
There's
I'm the
a
guy. I don't know. That's what it
at
seems
the end of
like.
the day, guys, we forget that Torres is just a 22, 23-year-old guy, and out of respect, out of admiration, he steps back for Muriel to take the place that somebody of his pedigree, World Cup player, Serie A winner, champions. I mean, that type of individual. Because not for nothing, Muriel, with his passes, at the very least, he shows a level of finesse like a surgeon. He just, he throws those balls. It's like a hot knife through butter, and it's obviously very evident that Luis Muriel has work to do. I'm not gonna discount him. I know some people want him gone and all this and that and the other. I think we still can get something out of the guy. We just have to find what that is.
I
And
agree with you, David. He's just a waste of a DP spot, though. At this point,
yeah, I agree
you
with
don't
you.
you don't hope to get what what little he has left with a DP. A DP needs to, we've said it countless times on the show that
$40 still, my friend.
Yeah, to me is
DPs
that. To
need
me is
to.
that.
Your dad makes that argument, John.
Yeah.
If we can read his question or
Yeah.
comment, really.
I'll show them. Jim D says, for me, it's not about what place we finish. It's the wasted opportunity for backup players to get time. If every match is life or death, no backup gets minutes. Now we're in playoffs
Correct.
with no depth.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then Ray goes on to say, I think Columbus and Dallas games OC played the same. Thank you. The difference was the opposition.
1,000%. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then Jim D says we had Facu playing left back in a couple of matches. I think the beginning of the season was crazy town.
Yeah,
That is true.
that is very true.
And that's really where the argument comes up, where people talk about Oscar and what their thoughts are on Oscar, because those are the decisions that come down to who?
The manager.
The manager, right?
But the thing is, guys, I don't know if you notice, when we go and become productive, when we're playing like this, why is it that the beginning of the season starts and all of a sudden we have to go to the lab to recreate the formula? It's not like, we already saw what happened in 1985 with Coke. They got the new flavor, right? They screwed up. And 6 weeks later, they had to bring the Coke Classic. Listen, what works, you leave it alone. With my wife, you know what I'm saying? She already knows what I can give after 18 years. She's not expecting anything new, because I'm what I'm saying? I'm just a simple man, and I have 7 classic moves, and that's it.
David,
And,
David,
what?
there's medicine they have for that now, buddy.
I understand. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, listen, my wife doesn't ask for me anything else. My employer doesn't add anything else because they already know who I am. Why is it that our manager can look at himself in the mirror and go and say, you know what? We can win this way. Let's just do it from February to October rather than experiment from February to May, trying to figure out how to reinvent the wheel. I don't
To
get
me,
it.
that goes back to the whole theory of how he wants to play. I mean, we tried to play it against Miami in the second match, and look what happened.
Awful.
We tried to play it, the good majority of the season. Even with when we played the 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, whatever formation you want to call it, we still tried to sit back and defend with our, best player playing left wing back, who should be a right inverted striker. And it's just like, you're right, but it also goes to what changed that we can't just do what we've been doing, or why when we do go on the attack and play ultra aggressive like we tried to do for a couple matches, can't we attack with more tact and not get caught out? Look at what happened in the Columbus match 2 weeks ago. The fourth goal happened because we were pushing, and then all of a sudden, they got a counter. What are we going to do?
Oh, that always going to happen, my friend. When you're trying,
What's going to happen late in the match? Yes, but I'm saying in the middle of the match that shouldn't happen.
Well, the first goal should have never happened.
What's that?
It was at least the first goal should have never happened. It was a lazy pass by Ojeda that we are giving him a lot of credit.
I'm saying the fourth goal. The fourth
goal.
The
fourth. Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, from the beginning, that in that first goal and the fourth goal don't happen, we win.
Well, we could even go back to the first goal, because the first goal, the reason Ojeda tried to make that fancy pass was because we couldn't maintain possession to save our lives. I mean, in the second half to begin the match, I think we didn't connect more than 2 passes in the first 10 minutes.
And to go back to Ray, I think out of this whole conversation, he makes an argument that we cannot get over, even if we wanted to. We are playing the same, but the problem is the opposition, my friends.
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, no excuse to have Facundo playing, in the left back. But I remember when that happened, Santos was very, very out of form. Like, I mean, the guy was atrocious. Not saying that's an excuse. I'm just saying, I think that, how Angulo plays on the left with Santos, and he has Angulo pretty much with his speed coming back to help Santos on defense, because, Santos is not the best back there. I'm guessing he was hoping that Facundo would do the same, would track back and help. I don't know.
Well, he did track back. He just, midway through, 3/4 of the way through the game, midway through the second half, Facundo was wasted because he had to run. Left wing backs running all up and down the field, and as attacking minded as he is, he was gassed.
Yeah, now where he's on the right mostly every game, where he should be, because he's left-footed. Well, in my opinion, so he can, try to do that cut back Carlos Vela deal.
The inverted,
yeah.
But I have to tell you this, guys, that in my opinion, in the past we had the problems, right, where in the off season we will see our players like not taking it seriously. Carlos Rivas classic. The guy will go on cruises, eat, pig out, and come back like 20, 30 pounds overweight. I think right now my guy is Luca Petrasso. Luca Petrasso went to Italy in the off season, played second half of the Italian season, came back to us literally with 0 break, and the guy is a stud. I mean, the guy is in shape. The other guy that I think is just raw talent is Angulo. But what happens if Angulo gets hurt? God forbid. Let me knock on wood. Who do we have to replace these guys to have that stamina? Because Columbus put us. Columbus came on their bicycles and they made us run and they made us run. And that's where our mistakes came up. And Miami's another team that likes to run. And obviously, at this point, I'm calling it. We're gonna, the game of our history is gonna be that playoff game, because if we beat them, we're beating the GOAT, right? The Lionel Fifanel. And you guys
gotta
know
say that. You got to say that again because your transformer voice just kicked in.
Fifanel Pese.
There you go.
Because you guys know that if that happens, I am going to probably go on a 5-month deal where I'm gonna make a lot of people cry online. But the fact is that, guys, that I think for me, our conditioning also needs to be elevated, because some of the guys like DDT, love the guy. I mean, a spitster. He's hurt, and at this point they're saying he's not gonna be available until late October. So what are we talking here? Coming back from injury to face Miami, I don't think he starts. So
At the
what
tax man.
you know, uh, um, Kyle is a man of surprises. A dude that came here as a throwaway player when JOC came to be our manager. He shocks me every single time. What shocks me the most, and you guys probably don't know this, is during tax season. He's actually working part time doing taxes to keep his license active. That to me is the most impressive thing. Kyle Smith, the second best thing to ever come out of Cincinnati. First time, obviously, you got on the screen, Mr. John. This kid, this young man is impressive. But again, what version are we getting? Because sometimes Kyle has made some errors that are equivalent to his limitations as a player. Okay, let's not cover the sky with one hand, but we have seen in this club ordinary men that have elevated themselves to extraordinary situations. Right here, the man, the living legend, Rodrigo Schlegel. Who would have thought? Tesha Kindele, hated by some nerds on the wall, and here's a man that on back-to-back games in his last season, he got the game winner.
Yeah.
So again, we have seen players that come out of nowhere and they just become club legends. Is it Kyle Smith year? Maybe so. Maybe so. But we have to play like 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 we mean it. And like I said before, if we get, and John said it, and Misael said it, I said it, I'm not just saying it because obviously I know I'm lower fruit, and for the haters, it's easy for for them to criticize me, and that's okay. I've been married for 18 years. I've been told worse by my wife, so and I was married before that. Trust me, I've been coerced. So anything you say really doesn't face me. But the fact is, my friends, is that our team we have to be looking past that second round. Yes, it's gonna be against Miami. If we go back to that graphic, I mean, you can see that is a team who's gonna win MLS Cup this year, because those are the most dangerous teams on that side. Nothing to take away from the West, but the only team that I will fear facing here is LAFC. Aside from LAFC, who, by the way, congratulations to them, they have crowned themselves Open Cup champions. Not to
And
take away from
Vela
that.
came back, right? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Carlos Vela came back, right?
I don't know. I tried to watch the game. I fell asleep. To be honest, I mean
Yeah, it
it's
was
it's,
late.
it's,
It
it's
was late.
It went into
brother.
overtime too. It went to extra time.
It started
Oh,
at
wow.
10:30. I'm an old man. I had work in the morning. It was really tough for me. I woke up with them lifting trophy, really. But yeah, like I said, by the way, and it was a tournament that was basically handed to them because not all of MLS participated. So not to crap on them, but I think personally, my favorite to win the MLS Cup, if it's not us, it's going to be Columbus. And I think the Miami is a one-trick pony, and we have already seen that Messi can't hang. Messi and the Barca boys can't hang on the long season because it's brutal. It's a brutal season. So to get off the microphone, I just have to say that we just have to play to win. We have to play to win, and like we have criticized before, and I believe that as they are open to criticism, they are the professional players. They make a crap load of money, and we go and finance this enterprise with our attendance and our support. I think that in 2025, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, we have to play like good from beginning. If we once again, I'm gonna tell you, if in 2025 we once again have this crap where we're at the bottom of the table, we're not winning, I'm not gonna say a thing because I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, I'm gonna be the first one to say, okay, guys, just wait after the summer because it's already a pattern. It's a pattern.
I mean, the commentator said it, and to me, it's embarrassing to hear when they said last week, was it, or the week before, where
Yep.
they
Yeah,
said
that's
that
right. I know what you're gonna say.
Called
Yeah,
it out.
that Facundo takes a while to get going. To me, like just hearing that on the TV, to me, it's embarrassing that these
Mm-hmm.
commentators that probably barely watch, as you know, and somebody just throws them a sheet of stats. The fact that they know that and they just throw that out there, it's embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
For
Agreed.
sure.
We have a
And
message.
don't forget at that right back spot too. If I guess if needed in worst case, there's Mikey Holiday as well.
Yeah.
But then to go even younger than I think younger than him. Yeah, to go a year younger than him, you have Alexander Freeman on OCB that's absolutely killed it this
Kids
year.
on fire. Kids on fire.
So I mean, and I said that because of I'm going to kind of cut in here at Jim D's comment. Smith is not a playoff starter. He makes the ball look like a hot potato. He wants no part of it. He just wants to get rid of it. Here's where it would have been nice to have some kids get minutes. Exactly. Why not give a Halliday or a Freeman some more minutes at the beginning of the year? I mean, Halliday wasn't an unknown. He was our day one starter last season at right back.
And wasn't he on the
He
national
was
team?
international at one
U20.
point.
U20.
Yeah, but still,
Well,
I mean,
no,
I
and
mean,
even to what you said back, John, several minutes ago, if you call him up to the first team, I mean, the other day we obviously we don't know we didn't know that Dallas was going to make that little run there at the end of the game, but we were up 3-0, like you said. That's the time when you plug these guys in. Let them, let them get a little run out, little run
Mm-hmm.
around out there, get a little experience, and get them prepared
so
for the
that when you
playoffs.
You're
need
gonna,
them, it's not their
Yeah,
first shot.
yeah.
guys, if you're not gonna play them, don't play them. Kick him
Yeah,
out of the
but
teine. If you're not gonna
three
play
to
them, kick him out.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-0. That's when you plug one of those guys in. Even like John said earlier, our new guy, Heine Brusev, or however you say his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, plug that guy in. I mean, what's the point?
Listen, if you're not gonna play the new Viking that we have, send him to OCB. I okay. Listen, I don't pretend to know everything. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a fat man in the terraces screaming at 22 men half my age that can do things that I can't do. I'm on record. I get winded just going down my driveway to get my mail. But the fact here is, guys, is that I just don't see if OCB, who by the way, and we have said it here, and at least three of us have gone to the games. OCB is a talent factor. If those guys are honing their skill and their purpose is that they are the players for the future, at some point they have to play. At some point we have to see them on the pitch. And on opportunities like this past Saturday were prime. Mikey Holiday, I'm gonna tell you this. Mikey Holiday, I rate highly. Mikey Holiday is a local kid. Last year when they were having around this time of the year, they were having the signing, the signature thing at Publix. Which, by the way, if somebody in the front office is listening, and I know they are, please bring that back. The fans loved it. Give us what we want. We asked very. I went to 10 Publixes in the Orlando metro area chasing signatures, and I loved it. I met Mikey Holiday. I met his mom, and I met his dad. His mom took the picture. By the way, this is how wholesome this family is. Mikey Holiday is a player that really deserves minutes because he's talent. He is that talented. Unfortunately, I believe he had the injury that took him back, and after that, he hasn't been able to earn his spot again. But friends, we have to give these players the opportunity. If we are not having the spot for them, let's send them on loan. Like I said again, Luca Petrasso went to Italy, and the man has come back a renewed man. I don't know. The Luca Petrasso that went there never came back. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I see we're running out of time, so let's go ahead.
I do want to wrap it up just because my dad literally commented what I was thinking. Playing the youth, would rather see the youth learn from mistakes, especially with the way Ladero played. Ladero put the game at risk. So on
Yes.
the bench, our unused subs we had on Saturday was Petrasso, who we've mentioned should be playing a little bit more, Mikey Halliday, which we said, Bruseth, and Sukata. Sukata, attacking player, okay, but the other three players that I mentioned, and then we had Otero on the bench as a backup keeper. But the other three players we said, why did we put Felipe in? Why did we put Lodero in? And why did we put Muriel in? I mean, yeah, we need one midfielder. Okay, you put Felipe in to hold it down a little bit because of his defensive ability, but play the young guys, get them experience, get them ready for a potential playoff run. Because when push comes to shove, you don't know what's going to happen with injuries. You don't know what's going to happen with cards, especially as much as our two midfielders love to accumulate cards. And, give the young guys a chance to play because, like David said, Dagger Dan's out till possibly we may not see Dagger Dan again this year with his injury based on the estimated timeline. It's they saw 4 to 6 weeks, so that or 3 to 6 weeks, sorry. So that puts him in the first match that he may be available would be our second match, our third match against New York, if we're lucky, if he heals quickly, if everything goes right, and if he's able to stay in or get in back into match shape.
Okay.
What a difference with the Caesar being back, right? The Caesar Cartagena chemistry. I mean, you can see it clear as day in that Dallas game.
You know what they remind me of? Seren and Higuita back in the day.
Yeah.
That type of chemistry that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to add one more thing before we moved on to Philadelphia, was that with clinching the playoffs, it's for our 5th straight year. And we're one of 2 active teams in the MLS that have made it 5 straight years to the playoffs. Which is kind of crazy with the start.
Congratulations to the boys.
Yeah, with the start that we had, that's kind of crazy.
It's a huge accomplishment, and
Can I say something real quick? No, okay. I remember a few years back how Atlanta fans used to like clown us and go on our social media, and they will buy jerseys and put like 0 playoffs and all that. I wonder what happened to those people, because they're about to miss playoffs, I believe 3rd or 4th time since they came into the league. So if that's the case, they have missed playoffs more times than they have made them. Okay, they won the MLS Cup second year, but that was years ago. That was 2018. Okay, almost 10 years ago. And at the time, I told those people, let's hope that you don't become the Chicago Fire. The Chicago Fire came in 1998 as an expansion team, won the Supporter Shield, MLS Cup, and Open Cup all in the same year. And what they have done since? They're just eliminated. You know, the Chicago Fire has missed more playoffs since we've been in the league than Orlando City. But we are making Orlando City a big deal, and Chicago Fire is just business as usual. Why? Because they got a star about their crest. So what I'm trying to say with this, my friends, is that football is cruel and unpredictable. And the people who thought they were hot, steaming feces, because we're a family show, now they find themselves humiliated and embarrassed. And who is their temporary manager? An Orlando City legend. They can't even find their own legends to, guide them through the embarrassment. So if anybody
remember, David, when they wasn't it 2018 that they had what's his face? He's not even playing in the MLS anymore. The forward, Miram. Didn't they pick up Miram and a couple other players that couldn't cut it here to try to revive them?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's right. And we have picked one of their players, former players, and I believe they have played with 5 former Orlando City players.
And we made out better on that deal too with
we
can't remember the Irish.
I believe at one point the vice president of soccer operations was Jonathan Spector, so a former captain of Orlando City. So again, I just wanna remind people, especially that elderly woman that used to tell me on Twitter that Atlanta United could defeat any team in the Scottish Premier. What a beautiful fantasy! Whatever she was taking, I want to get 2 pills of that a day. Anyways, I just want to remind our friends up north, how the mighty have fallen, and if we win the MLS Cup, which could happen in the next 2 3 years, then they have nothing.
Well, David, you got to remember, Atlanta fans don't even know. I don't know if you guys recall this several years ago, but they don't even realize which direction south is.
No, for sure.
They were trying to say Orlando's not south, and I'm like,
many of the people that were my nemesis have quit social media.
They're all Braves fans now. Now that the Braves
exactly.
came back the last 5 or 6 years, they're now Braves.
It's
don't
just
make fun
like
of my Braves. Don't make fun of my Braves.
just like flies on cow pies. They just move along to the freshest one. So I just wanna remind everybody that people laughed about us, and here we are. Here we are still supporting the boys of the 407, because you can buy success. Let's say at home, all of us together, but you can't buy love.
Really quick, Ahmed, I'm sorry. That last comment, about I think it says Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Atlanta. How many times have they been in the conference championship?
Oh, okay.
Just once.
I thought he was saying us, because I was gonna say with us that to me, it's conference finals or bust.
Oh yeah, they've been to twice. You're absolutely. Atlanta been twice. The second one they lost. I believe it was Red Bulls who sent them packing. No, but by all means, look, they had successes. All I'm reminding them as they get eliminated from playoff contention this weekend is to remind them that because football is cruel and unpredictable, that in football streaks, all good, all bad, they have a beginning and an end. And you have your moment to laugh, and now we have our moment to laugh, and that's how it is. That's how it is.
Yep.
I guess we can go to
And
Philadelphia.
I think Ray was actually asking about Orlando
Yeah,
City.
because I think it was when I said that with this win, this was the 5th time in a row that we have made the playoffs. We're one of 2
Absolutely, yeah.
active teams in the MLS that have made it 5 years in a row. So I think he was implying how many conference championships with. Yeah, I mean I agree.
That is correct. So some of the teams that are making the
Yeah.
playoffs have missed them. So
Yeah, absolutely.
in
All right.
fact, if you guys allow me here 2 seconds, Miami has this is their second time making playoffs. Don't let them fool you. What happened in 2020 is not playoffs. Do not. If anybody tries to tell you that, tell them, you know what? If you believe that, then you believe you can buy the Brooklyn Bridge. You believe that it happens to every guy, and you believe that it's really big. Those type of things. Anyhow, Columbus missed 2 playoffs this year. Cincinnati had that atrocious start. So New York City missed playoffs last year. Red Bulls, I think, 2 years before, and this will be the first time Charlotte makes playoffs if indeed it happens. So Orlando City, hey, pat yourself in the back. We have consistently since 2020 been, in the postseason. Everybody else, it's in and out. So, in fact, in New England and Chicago, who are not making playoffs, and DC, you have 3 former Supporter Shield winners not making playoffs. Imagine that.
Crazy. So in 68 hours from now, when we meet again, Monday night, the Orlando City Lions will have played 2 games by that time. The first of which is this coming Wednesday at home against Philadelphia. And then followed by a away game at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati. Gentlemen, I'm afraid to ask your thoughts. So you already know me. We cannot afford to lose any of these games. We're sitting where we're at. Anything else is gonna throw that whole lineup out of whack. We need to stay in fourth position as far as I'm concerned. Because anything else, right now, I feel like we're in the ideal situation to at least get out of the first round, right? Or as ideal a situation that we could ask for. Your thoughts about the two upcoming games?
I'll start. Well, the good news
sorry.
is that we don't play any matches on turf the remaining of the season on the plastic grass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Wednesday and Saturday, I have a feeling are gonna be two completely different matches.
Absolutely.
Cincinnati's already clinched. They're guaranteed the third spot. But then Philadelphia is right there on the brink of not even making playoffs, and I believe they're the other team that's made it just as much as we have, if I'm thinking correctly. So Wednesday's going to be an absolute dogfight. Philadelphia's going to come in, try to take it to us. But same thing I've said for 2 years. We have to control the tempo of the game. We have to control possession of the ball. We have to be able to break them down defensively because they're going to try to hit us instantly on a counterattack the second they get the ball. And we got to be smart when we're in possession. We can't have these long spells of time, 4 or 5 minutes where we can't even get the ball out of our own half of the field, let alone our own defending third. Yeah. So, we have to control the match. We have to, win. And as long as we win, I'll be happy. But we can't lose Wednesday, and we can't, especially Saturday, can't lose Wednesday because, like David said or Ahmed said, it'll be throw a wrench in everything. We have to keep that 4th spot so we get home field advantage in that first round.
Oh, by the way, John, just a correction on what you just said. We're playing Wednesday, and then we're playing not this Saturday, the following.
Yeah, the following.
The following Saturday?
No, it's this Saturday.
It is?
I thought it was this Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, the following other one is versus Atlanta.
You're right.
Okay.
The dates got ahead of him. He's old and senile. People, give him a break.
Yeah, that's just it. It's back. It's not only an uphill battle. It's back to back.
So we have a bye week then.
Yeah, we don't play Atlanta till like 2 weeks,
and then the 19th.
Yeah.
That's another situation. I'm never a fan of those bye weeks.
Yeah, well, because we don't have even conferences next year. San Diego comes in, and that's the end of that.
Okay.
Can we agree that Ramiro should just keep starting?
I think he should. So. I mean, my dad said it for a while now that he thinks Duncan is the great, like the picture of a super sub, if you will. You look super sub up in the dictionary, and Duncan's picture's right there next to him. Because, I mean, imagine being a tired center back and having to keep up with Duncan, for the last 15, 20 minutes of a match.
Yeah, for sure.
Ramiro, I thought Ramiro was excellent the other day.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. This Wednesday is go and support the boys. I'm not going to be able to go. Is Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. So Shana Tova to our Jewish audience. And for those that have been following my personal life, my wife and I are starting the process of adoption for my niece, and they gotta come to the house and ask us a bunch of questions, do a bunch of things. So I'm not gonna be able to go. So please support the Lions if you can. I know Wednesday, middle of the week, man, is tough, especially for the people that live outside of the city. And at Cincinnati, John, are you gonna go to that game? If you're listening, I believe John was saying that he was going to try.
I will not be. I tried to, but
yeah, I hear you. Life gets in the way. I get you, my friend. Maybe your dad, maybe Ray will be able to go and represent. Take a picture.
I would like to go to that stadium.
Me too. It looks gorgeous. I think all our seasons, soccer specific stadiums deserve a visit. In fact, maybe next year. We're gonna, if we are playing DC United on a Saturday, we definitely want to go. There's DC to me,
Mhm.
in our nation's capital, perfect place to go. If you go, you gotta go to the Florida Embassy. The state of Florida has an embassy in DC. It's a great experience. You go, they ask you if you're a Florida resident, let you in. They give you orange juice. It's just awesome. So if you have the opportunity to do that, go ahead
So,
and do
Miss
that.
Ao, I went last year to the match in Cincinnati in September. And not to downplay, I mean, go and see it. You know, it's an away stadium, it's an away day. But like to me, when you're in the stadium, it's very enclosed. You almost feel like you're 50 feet deep in a pit with just stands around you. Some people probably find that pretty cool. I prefer more of an open, traditional style soccer stadium like what we have here, but um, it was definitely different. I wasn't a fan of it, but
Does that mean do you mean like you feel like you're on top of the field, like you're on top of the players?
no, I didn't. Where we sat, so we sat in the first level, right behind the away goal. You know, the bench
Hmm.
side,
Hmm.
but behind the goal. Um, and I didn't really feel like I was on top of the players at all. It more you just it felt it felt taller than it was, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, like a base, like I'll equate it to a baseball stadium. You go to a baseball stadium, everything feels really wide and
Yeah.
expansive. This
Hmm.
felt very kind of closed in and almost, you
Narrow.
know, narrow tunnel like, if you will, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, it just looks beautiful, the stadium and
No,
the
it does.
atmosphere
No, it
and the
does.
atmosphere. Yeah. I mean, it's. I know it's not. That's not our team, but the atmosphere
Mhm.
looks cool on TV.
Oh, hey, man,
Mhm.
respect. They came from USL just like we did, So I have a lot of respect for those guys. And,
I used to watch their USL games.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I still do. By the way, congratulations to the Colorado Hail. They are the USL League One champions, defeating America's favorite second team, Madison FC, the Flamingos, and I know there's a few Orlando City fans that also support us. So I know they're bummed out, but uh, we should be crowning USL champion here pretty soon. Haven't been keeping up to see who's in the finals, but American football is coming to a close, so it's a party up in. By the way, quick thing, and I know I'm going on a tangent here. Stevenage is playing Wrexham tomorrow at 2:50 Orlando time. So I'm banking on the boys that they perform so they can make it into the documentary. I gotta be watching. I gotta be watching. So
It'll be on TV because you're playing Wrexham, I think. So it'll be on
they
Paramount
may.
Plus.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Because
If they're playing if they're playing Wrexham, you can almost bet money it'll be
yeah,
on Paramount Plus.
I paid $230 for the season to watch them on the EFL's I Follow app.
$230.
$230 to watch third division English football. That tells you right there. A, I love him. B, I make very bad financial decisions. Uh, but yeah, that's how it is, my friends. So if you are complaining about the $99 for MLS for the Apple Plus, I got news for you. And I would I got a link from Danny. Remember the Israeli guy that was sitting right behind us, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made him to use it because of the time difference. I'm at work, but that is basically saving me $33 a month, and it's not guaranteed that you're gonna see the team because it's like team of the week type of thing, and you may end up watching a game that you don't really care. So watching football overseas is really expensive.
We're gonna have to
Uh,
find you
and,
some bootleg cable, man.
yeah. By the way, I mean, did you get your Egyptian jersey from
Yeah.
Egyptian club jersey from
Yeah, I did. I
from
did. Yeah, our friend Tom brought me a jersey from my club that I
yes.
couldn't get. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, but by the way, on Facebook, Tom was excited. They opened out Wendy's about 30 minutes away from his house, and I did not know this. Wendy's is just a brand new thing in the UK. And on that thought, The day Chick-fil-A opens up in the UK, they can really start printing their own money.
$5 biggie bag.
Man, brother, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I did not know how crazy British people were for American fast food until I saw our good friend Tom freaking out over square burger patties. But
Really quick, the other day when I saw Philadelphia, Blake wasn't their goalkeeper. Is he injured?
I don't know. Don't know. And you know what? I tell you what. They're gonna come here. We may see our former goalkeeper Joe Bendick on goal, and Joe hates coming here to Orlando because people are ruthless. Personally, I'm always kind to our former players, except for Justin Merrim for obvious reasons. Justin Merrim and I, we probably need to fight in a 10-by-10 cell. No rules, steel toe boots. See who makes it out.
I was very disappointed a couple weeks when I found out Justin Merrim wasn't playing for Charlotte anymore, and happy at the same time because now he's.
Wait a minute. So where is he at right now?
Is it NFSL team in Michigan or something like that?
Jesus.
What? Wait a second.
Wow.
He's out of MLS?
Yeah.
Are you surprised,
Wow.
David?
It's a big drop off.
What? I'm telling you.
I was excited when we first picked that guy up. I was excited. I ain't gonna lie.
I was excited.
I was so excited.
One day we're gonna have to discuss the down. For the off season, perhaps we can plan ahead to have episodes where we touch about this type of things. The Merrim story is a sad one because I was just like you, Misael. I was very excited. I was very happy. He, in my opinion, had a fantastic story, and he was do great. But he made some bad decisions. Started with going downtown, getting drunk, and urinating himself. You cannot come back from it. You cannot come back from
Well,
that.
my favorite thing
know
he
that.
said when he really lost, when I thought he really lost it, was when he made a kind of off the cuff comment, but a reporter picked it up, and he basically said that the Orlando supporters aren't nice. Basically, I don't remember the exact quote.
Yeah.
Right,
He was basically saying we were too mean to him, that we have to understand that he's just a human, and like, dude, you get paid X amount of dollars to play a sport. Any number of us in the stands would do for minimum wage, and here you are complaining that we're too mean, but we're the ones paying to come and see you perform.
And you're not performing.
Yeah, because he I don't recall him ever really doing much of anything when he was here. He made a couple of cool skill moves to get around.
Scored one goal and insulted us after. So, but anyways, final words, everybody, so we can, Ahmed is one of those men that just want to go to bed, and we keep him here 90 freaking minutes. So let's just make it happen. Anybody has final words before we say goodbye?
For me, it's just, like Ahmed always says, and I mean, we all think the same thing. It's win every single game. Treat it like a playoff. Hopefully we can keep that fourth place, so we can have home field. And yeah, that's about it. Today's Felipe's birthday. Happy birthday, Felipe.
Oh, happy
big
birthday,
man.
Felipe.
I met Felipe. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. And he got under skin. So that in my book, a legend.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can't afford a loss, but more than anything, I think for the guys, we need good performances, because we cannot afford to have something go wrong now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the way it's going to set us up for the playoffs. So I hope we don't have a false sense of security. We don't go into anything, like Cincinnati, for all we know, they may not put out their A game because they don't need to, and they may challenge us without their A game. But we can't have a Columbus-like
game
against Cincinnati, right? We need to. They need to walk away from each one of those games more pumped than the one before, going into those playoffs. So
And Wednesday, don't forget, I believe, are without Arujo.
again,
Oh yeah, the
Again?
10th,
He
the
got his
10th yellow.
10th yellow.
no, but he
My
just
goodness.
came back from a yellow card accumulation. That's why he
Yeah.
missed the one against Columbus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
when
you gotta
when you
stay
reach
2
10,
games without one.
yeah,
Oh my God, this guy
Yeah.
is killing me.
So,
This
so
guy
Yeah.
is
if he
killing
comes
me.
back
Oh my
from this
God.
suspension and he gets another yellow again, it doesn't reset right away. So
yeah,
God.
I love the guy, but at the same time, it's getting out of hand.
And
Yeah.
that's that he's calmed down. Remember when he first started? When he first started, I think
Wasn't he suspended like after the 6th match last
it was
season?
just like, oh
Or
my
2
God, this
seasons
guy.
ago?
yeah,
It was crazy.
yeah.
It was crazy when he first started.
It was
just
so
like,
bad. I don't know what he gets paid, but I know it was so bad that like a couple of those fines, I think like the teammates said like, we'll pay for it because
Wow.
of how like it was just
Wow.
getting out of hand. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and guys, before we go, I gotta keep it super brief. Teams that have clinch playoff spots: Miami in the East, Miami, Columbus, Cincinnati, or your Orlando City Lions, New York City, New York Red Bulls, eliminated from contention, Chicago. I mean, those guys are having a nightmare of a season again, maybe a decade. And then on the West, LA, LAFC, RSL. Columbus, Colorado, Seattle, Houston, Vancouver, and eliminated from contention. St. Louis, who came into the league thinking they're gonna walk into the playoffs. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Austin, if they lose this week, they are done. They have only made playoffs on year 2. Again, another club that thought that they were just gonna be hot S. Not anymore. The SKC, surprisingly, who beat us, they're eliminated in San Jose. So on the West is pretty much almost a done deal. The 4 teams that are still up in the air is Minnesota, Portland, Dallas, and Austin. And on the East is Charlotte, Toronto, Philadelphia, Montreal, Atlanta, DC, Nashville, and New England. So this Wednesday and Saturday, we are basically going to have the configuration of who's going to be making the playoffs. So go support the Lions. Go show up this Wednesday if you can. And then, on the 19th, the Valentine clan is going to be going to the game. And Ivy Valentine's is going to be Ivy Valentine's first Orlando City game. So let's go get a win and then send Atlanta packing to their NFL stadium to lick their wounds. Is that good?
Yes.
I got one more thing to add about Saturday. If Lucho doesn't play, Cincinnati will probably be in trouble because they're probably going to look to just control the ball, not really attack. And if, as much as we like to counter, that could play greatly into our hands. And also, if we win Wednesday, it makes a win at Cincinnati a little bit less important. Where we can afford a draw. We just can't afford to lose all 3 points.
Absolutely.
By you saying if Lucha don't play, is it because he's still injured, or you think that they'll just sit him down maybe because they don't really need the win?
They don't need everything.
Yeah, they don't really need it. Him coming off the injury, because I think this past match or the match before was his first match back from injury.
Yeah.
And he's getting up there in age, so they'll probably want to not to use him as much as possible. He may come on for 10 or 15 minutes to get his legs loose, but if he doesn't play, that's essentially their offense.
I could see them pulling a Columbus where like Cucho didn't start. He didn't start the first half of the game. If they need to bring him in, they bring him in so that he's warmed up, so that he gets some time.
All that guy needs is 5 minutes.
Huh?
Yeah.
All that guy needs is 5 minutes.
But who would you rather face though? A Cucho-less Columbus or a Acosta-less Cincinnati? Me, it would be Cincinnati.
Oh, of course. I'd rather take a Costa Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I think your dad posted it in the chat. If you look on paper, the numbers, we're about even with them performance-wise. On paper, and we know about football on paper. On paper, you look up the stats, you're like, wait, how are they even?
Yes, my friend. But unfortunately, that
We
the
know.
ball on the grass is what decides.
And the match we had against Cincinnati at home, remember, we played the majority of that match down a man and still
Yeah.
took it to them.
Didn't that end just
absolutely.
1-0?
It was 1-0. We had plenty
Yeah.
of opportunities down a man to score. And that's when their back line was at full strength when they had all their regular starters. What's his face, the former U.S. international center back, is done for the year for Cincinnati. Jeff,
That was with
it's not Jeff Cameron.
Miazga.
Sure.
Miazga. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
out for the year.
I remember that game. Janssen and Miazga were going at it,
Yeah.
like ready to throw hands.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, let's it's past our bedtime. Let's take it home, brother.
All right. So we're gonna leave you reminding you the only way we know how that football is played on what? Grass, not on paper. Football is cruel, very cruel in our case, and unpredictable. That football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. And if you haven't cried for joy or anger over football, have you really footballed at all in your life? So for Misael, John, David, and myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos
Vamos.
or let.